Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sari. In this video, I'm going to explain of my paper with the title "The Influence of About Fine Strategy Towards Students' Reading Ability at the 10th grade of SMKN Negeri 1 Gedong Tataan in academic year 2020 and 2021." Okay, the first is background of the problem. English is one of the international language used all over the world, and then reading is skill to understand writing text. And at SMKN Tataan, the writer finds that the students were still lack of comprehend the reading text. So based on the background, the writer interested to apply about fine strategy in teaching reading to know whether it can improve the students' reading ability or not. Next is identification of the problem. There are 5. The first is the students are lack of making conclusion of text, and the second is the students are difficult to understand the meaning of words, and then the third is the students don't really interest to follow reading lesson. And the fourth is the students have difficulties in identifying the specific information of text. And the last is limited teaching techniques using in learning reading. Next is formulation of the problem. The formulation of the problem in this research is: how is there any influence of about fine strategy towards students' reading ability? Next is theory of about fine strategy. Sechnos and Thais, the 2007 on page 108, that they state that about fine strategy not only helps students to determine the main idea and supporting details, but also help them to recognize the author's viewpoint. It means that by using this strategy, the student will know the author's viewpoint in-depthly because they try to understand the important point in the text. Next is a procedure of using about fine strategy. The first is before beginning the lesson, the teacher writes the pattern this section is about and the point is on the board. And then the second is the teacher asks the students to read the first paragraph and read this aloud for beginning ELLS. The third is write 3 possible about statement on the board. A student to decide which is the best statement. The student should discuss and support the answers. Fill in the pattern sentence with about statement that was chosen as the best. The fourth is teacher write 3-point statement on the board and then ask students to identify the best point too. And then the fifth is the teacher asks students to read the second selection of text. Next, ask them to share and discuss what might be good about the statements and select this. After statement has been divided, you want write it on the board or overhead. And the last is write the statement developed by the group on the board. Discuss as students to silently read the rest of the selection and identically write their own about point suggestion for each paragraph. And then next is the hypothesis. Based on the theories, the frame of based on the theories and frame of the thinking, the writer formulated this hypothesis. There is a significant influence of about fine strategy towards students' reading ability. Next is operational definition of problem. The first is about fine strategy is a strategy that develops comprehension of the main idea by understanding one by one subsection or paragraphs. And next is the student's reading ability, means the student's skill in comprehend a text, getting the meaning of text, answer the question correctly, and could enrich their vocabulary. And then next is sampling technique. The writer used cluster random sampling because the sample of the research is more than two classes. Data collecting technique. To measure students' reading ability, the writer used multiple choice, which consists of 50 items, and each item consists of A, B, C, D, E, and E. Next is data analyzing techniques. To know the result of the research, the writer used some formulae to calculate the data from the base given in experiment and control class. It is the average rate. The first is data normality of test. It is used to know whether the data is normal or not. To get the data of the normality of test, the writer used the chi-square ratio. Next is homogeneity of test. It is used to know whether the data are homogeneity or not. The formula of homogeneity test is the formula of homogeneity test is F equal to the highest variance divided by the lowest variance. Next is hypothesis test. It is used to prove the hypothesis proposed by the researchers or writer, whether they are achieved or not. The formula of test is t-test. Next is testing of the equality of the research. Testing of the equality of the average score, and the last is testing of the difference to average score. Well, I think my explanation is enough. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum.